Hey guys, we're going to do some upper GT40 Exploder competition between the two uppers. They should be pretty close. I chose to flow it through one of my problem child intakes. Notice it's got clay holding it together, and it's got a serious dog leg, so it only flows through the lower, the upper, and the throttle body about 218. We'll go over the flows on the head. This is a different port. This is port number 6, which we haven't seen again because I always like to flow at least one intake and exhaust on one head versus the other head. Make sure I got my dimensions and so forth pretty darn close. They should be within a few CFM of each other, give or take some casting issues. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fire this up all together. All the vacuum lines are plugged. It's bolted together. It doesn't have gaskets in between, but it should be sealing pretty good. I don't want to go on and off all the gaskets. They get destroyed. But I notice I have tape. All right. The only one we're flowing through is number 6. Okay. Everything else has been taped off. This side and this side. Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay, we're set up at our maximum lift on this, which is going to be 0.6. He is getting a custom cam cut for this, so I expect him to be probably 580, 600 on the cam lift. Okay, this is the product, the pieces that are going to Australia. So he's going to be running it on the XR8 Sprint. Now this manifold looks like the exact same design as a 93 Cobra, and we're going to put them up against each other 1 to 1. See what we got. Okay, since it's a different intake, it's intake number 6, we reflow it. Off the top of my head, I think the last one we went through that was all done came out to 236. You guys could check back in the archives. I do think the other one was a touch better right here. I think it was like 184, 185. In any case, really, really close. Swirls were more than we need, plenty, but it's not. That's going to change quite a bit when we put the intake on with the long runners. The exhaust was topped out right about the same. I think we were flowing a little bit better on this side, but with the pipe, I think we were about the same. I have a feeling we were right around 189. Okay. Now we go to the hard part, which is extra messy. We got the 93 GT40 manifold, which is the Sprint. Okay, and this is what we get. You know, we're going from this to this. So we're going to get a loss because you're running through a long runner. It's really not that terrible until around 0.35, right? We're 207. We drop down to almost 180. Okay, at our max lift, we're 233. We're down to 194.6. We do have plenty of swirl, right? Our swirl starts good, dives down right around just before it starts to lose it on the short side. As it starts to lose it on the short side, we get our swirl that comes in. Okay. Not really as good as I had hoped. I do believe we did other flows through the Exploder, and it did better than this. I think we broke 200, but this is a problem child runner. Okay, the other runners are flowing like 20 CFM better than this one. So overall, total package, not terrible. Now, we put the Exploder manifold on. We can compare these directly. The Exploder is less. It's a little bit less everywhere, which, to be honest, I wasn't expecting because I like the Exploer design better. But this one seems to flow a little bit better. All right, let's take a look at the swirls. We got more right at the very bottom. Very similar, very similar, very similar. Dives to 21, dives to 23, 26, 0. Then she starts to come off the short side. A little bit less, 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 less. Okay? It's kind of interesting. You wouldn't think it would make much of a difference on the swirl for the upper, but it does. Okay? Because I don't really have an answer, actually. You know what we need to cover? We need to cover our airspeeds through the port, because they're actually quite good. Okay, the pinch is a little bit faster than I'd like, but it doesn't really pay to make it bigger because we're restricted on the intake. So I left it right where it is. Notice how nice and even we are and fast across the roof. And we got 384, 386, and 357. We're just a little bit low on this side, but that's really not bad. I think this is going to work really well. As far as our exhaust, they're quite even, a little dead in the middle, but not bad. Not bad. I think that's going to work just fine. What we're going to do is we're going to flip it and use the other head, and we'll do an outside runner. So this was number 6. So let's take a look on the manifold itself and see which runner we're running through. Okay, this is number 6 runner. So it's got its shortest path through between the plenum and the runner. So we're going to compare that, and we're going to compare it to one of our outers when we put it back. Now this is the direction the intake is going to be facing. He sent me a picture of his setup. The throttle body is actually pointed towards the driver's side. I don't know whether they have right-handed or left-handed driving. When I say driver's side, USA driver's side, okay? So, what do we need to talk about after this? We're going to flip it. We're going to use the different head on an outer runner, and we'll compare both uppers again, and we'll see how they do. Just Mopar Joe just published an update to the 538 Cam Challenge engine, and he shows this absolutely massive carburetor, and it has very interesting booster design. And I'm looking at it. It's a King 4150. I don't know exactly much about it. But I do remember having a conversation with DV maybe a week ago, and one of his DV's questions was, we got to run a Dominator on this thing. It's just not going to happen. I'm like, I don't know, David. I told him when I did the heads he was going to need a custom 4150 to get this done, and I took a guess at the time. I didn't know how big they could make them. 1100, 1200. I don't know how big they can make them. I haven't played with carburetors in 30 years. So while I'm talking to DV, I got my computer in front of me. I'm like, let's see what kind of 4150s we can find. And I actually found that carburetor, and I told him about it. And he's like, I'm going to call Mopar Joe. Now, do I think that happened right after I said? I don't know. But it's kind of interesting when I'm looking at Joe's video, and I'm like, that's the carburetor I was showing David. So we'll see what happens with that. It'll definitely help as far as top end flow, but I'm willing to bet it doesn't manage the fuel droplets anywhere nearly as well as an annular down low. We'll find out, because he says he's gonna dyno it with his AED that he's had really good luck with. So I think the AED will pull better, probably up to like 4,500 or so, and over 4,500 the really big carburetor. It was 11. It's over 1,100 CFM for 4150. But he measured the butterflies, and the butterflies are the same on the 850 annular discharge versus this other. I don't even know the name of those boosters. They don't even look like they have a Venturi in them. Really, you got to check it out and fill me in. All you carb guys could give me a little info on this, because it's going to be interesting. Hope it happens soon. What else we got to talk about? I don't know. I don't know if I should let it slip, but it doesn't hurt. So I talked to Brian the other day, and he's like, our buddy that you're doing the 289 heads for had him do a set of springs, retainers, locks, custom rockers, and a cam for the 289 he's running now. And the guy was just absolutely thrilled with what Brian did with the solid lifter cam and the dyno sheet. So that's good news. And of course, during my conversation with Brian, he's like, "What did you get out of those heads?" He's like, "Oh yeah, he's going to get a huge step up with your intake in those heads." So that's always nice to hear. I do have to get them out. I got to get this other project out to Australia. I still have to set a big block L29 heads. I'm probably going to have to borrow a spread bore from Rob to final test that on. Other than that, guys, it's the usual hubbub around here. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.